Welcome to Amberg Acres. Well, today is the day. We're going to try and get this house down, or at least part of it. So my plan is, right by the window here, is to put the tractor up against it and give it a little push. And then over here, on this end, I'm going to hook up the four-wheeler and try and pull them poles out, because the poles are all rotten at the bottom. I'm going to give them a yank, you know, and see if by pulling them out, if that whole section kind of goes. And the reason I'm putting the tractor here is because we got wires back here, and if the house would go the wrong direction, it could hit that wire. It's you know, it's kind of iffy. Not sure if it would hit it or not. Depends how it crumbles. So that's why I left that wall on. There's a stairway right inside that wall there. So I'm thinking that's the strongest part of the structure. So I'm going to try and get everything to go, what would that be, to the south. So we're going to get started. I'm going to put the tractor up against it. I'm going to have a couple cameras going here, and hopefully we get this on film. So that is just an extra safety so that it has a little bit of resistance coming this way if it wants to come this way. But I don't think it will. I think it's just all going to fall that way. Well, that side's no longer attached. Let's move over to the other side and see what happens over there. couple of tough ones there. Might have to get the saw out like I originally planned. Cut a couple of those there. Those seem pretty tough. Or just a little more persuasion. So at this point, there's literally nothing holding that end of the house. So I'm gonna see if I can get the rope through and through that door in there on that interior wall and give it a pull to the south here and see if that'll make it come down. Well, I don't know. Might have to call the guy with the dynamite. They got the rope through the window, around the interior door, and out the other window. And hopefully that brings that whole wall out. That wall is pretty rotten, so I don't see it being much of an issue. Alright, I think I changed my mind. I'm gonna put a patio door right here instead and seal her back up. Nah, just kidding, guys. I don't know what's holding that roof up, so I'm gonna get these two corners here out yet, this one and this one, pull them poles, and then try and get my rope through that middle wall there. And the chimney actually isn't on a foundation, it's sitting on that wall. So I think if I could get the bottom of that wall to pull out, you know, the chimney would help bring the roof down. I'm just guessing on that. But either this piece was an addition, or that other part was an addition. And I want to say that this was probably the original. It was just a one room house, and then they added that big kitchen and the upstairs living when they had a bunch of kids. But I'm just guessing at that. I really don't know the history of this house. Well, she started to fall. Get that other corner off of there and it might come down. She's creaking pretty good. I'm thinking I'm gonna stick my rope right through that window and out the side there and see if I can pull that wall to make it collapse. You gotta trust me when I say this. It's not coming down the way I thought it was gonna. I thought the minute I pulled them walls out, that whole thing would just crumble, but it's not. So we're working on it. You know, my daughter's always giving me the beans about these redneck tools I built. But how do you think I just got that rope through that door there? One of them redneck tools. I definitely moved that wall inside, but I just ain't got no traction with that little four-wheeler. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get the truck, put another cable on the end there. Hopefully that'll be enough to pull that wall. Doesn't seem like it's that solid. That's why I'm thinking I should just be able to pull it down. But all right, we'll get that hooked up. Okay, I got the chain pulled through there. So my weak link right now is going to be the cable, or the chain. Because when you hook the chains together, if you don't keep tension on them, they have a tendency to pop apart. But we'll see. I got her tight. We'll see if that truck can pull this down. Well, like I said, the wink leak was going to be the cable. I don't know the weight ratings on these things. I've had this stuff laying around here for years, so I don't know what any of this stuff is. So it's probably way lighter than what I need. But I definitely moved that wall, and it's creaking like crazy, so it's ready to come down. So I got to go find some more chain somewhere. While I was hooking up that chain, of course, the thing started caving in, so I got the chain in there. Well, that was not as dramatic as I wanted it to be. But anyhow, it came down enough. What I'm going to do is clean up all these poles and stuff that I got laying on the lawn here. And then I can get a little closer with my tractor and I can kind of like pull on it with the backhoe or whatever and break some of that up. But yeah, I was hoping that thing would just fall right off of there, which you can see up on the roof there. It did separate the way I thought it was going to. But that interior wall, even though I got the bottom of it pulled over, there's still enough there holding that up on that other end. So, you know, whatever, we'll get it down. Maybe it'll fall by itself overnight, who knows, you know. It's creaking still now. It's been about an hour or so since I pulled it down, so it's still creaking. It may fall tonight yet, you never know. But I definitely ain't going in there. So hopefully when I do the second half, maybe that one will fall a little nicer, make a more dramatic video. Anyhow, I'm gonna get this cleaned up and then we'll see where we're at. Well, it's June 11th and it's kind of cold today. We had a front come through and let me check the temperature once here. It says it's only 54 degrees at 12:30 in the afternoon. So I figured today would be a good day to come out here and do a little field work. We're trying a new product this year. It's called Jolt. It's a liquid fertilizer that you spray on the leaves of your plants, and it's supposed to take the place of regular fertilizer. And you don't need to wait for rain or anything else. You know, it gets sucked in through the leaves. So, you know, with regular fertilizer, you throw it on there and it's time release, so you got to have rain to kind of dissolve it into the soil. So if you don't get any rain, the fertilizer doesn't do you any good. So we haven't had much rain. We got a little bit of sprinkling yesterday morning, and that was about it. So we're going to try this, and what we're going to do is we're going to split the field in half here, because we know that the north end of this field is much better ground than the south end, because we just moved all that dirt down here and it's pretty much hard as a rock. But the stuff is up and it's growing, so we're going to try this. So we know this end is going to grow better anyhow. So we're only going to spray the south half of the field here, and we're going to see if we can visibly see a difference in how big these plants are in a couple weeks compared to the ones up here on the north end that I didn't spray. And then that'll tell you if it works or not, right? So the first thing we should do is we should look at the north end, so we can be scientific about it. It's much thicker up here. It looks like I must have got a lot more seed, but we don't know that. It's just that this seed germinated better up here on the north end. You can tell these plants right here, you know, they're nice and thick and pretty healthy plants. So let's look at the other end down here. So you look down here, there's hardly nothing. I mean, it's pretty scarce. The plants are small, they look weak, you know. So we're gonna spray this end down here, and we'll see in a couple of weeks if we can visibly see that this caught up to the north end. And that's gonna be as scientific as I can get for this product, but we'll see if it works. So my cousin Paul called me, I don't know, back in probably February, March. I don't remember if I had my shoulder surgery done yet then or not when he called. But anyhow, we talked for quite a long time on the phone. I haven't seen him in quite a few years and stuff. And he does the same thing as me over on his property. He's over on the I'll say the middle part of the state, more like by Pentonwell flowage over there. And he does food plots, and he's got some acreage there, so he does the same thing. So he recommended this to me to try, so we're gonna try it. It's not sponsored by anybody. Nobody's, you know, paying me to do a commercial here or nothing. So we're just gonna try it, and we're gonna see how it works. So I'm gonna get the spray in here, and we'll let you know in a couple of weeks what it looks like. So when I was over in the yard over there by the house, it was breezy, no bugs. Now I get over here and the mosquitoes and gnats are all over me. So yeah, you know, that's the way it is, right? So we're just gonna lightly spray this. Now the mix on this stuff was 1 ounce per gallon, basically, is what it came out to. This would be a much better use for like a sprayer, a tank sprayer, or a boom style sprayer, where you just drive around the field and spray it on the leaves. But it recommends that the plants be 3 inches high at least before you spray it the first time. So we easily are at that point right now. But seeing I don't have a boom sprayer, I'm just gonna spray by hand and try and get every leaf, or as many as I can. And it also says that you can mix this with your Roundup or your herbicide. You can mix it all together and then just spray. If you're over here spraying for weeds, you could spray, mix this in and then spray everything all at once. Alright, I gotta go get some more mixed up. According to the bottle, I should be putting about 8 gallons down on this half of the field. So I'm gonna have to make a couple trips, but yeah, it's a nice day. We don't get too many like this. I had to go put a jacket on. I was getting cold. So this should be 8 gallons. Well, I I can't talk today. I literally sprayed every leaf in that field. And if you believe that, I got some land I can sell you. I got her sprayed. We'll see what it looks like here in a couple weeks. It's already middle of June, so I got to get my brassica order in pretty soon here and start getting ready to plant those by the end of July. As I was walking along, I was looking to see how bad they're eating it, you know. And the only area where they really seem to be hammering it is right over there on the other side of the water tank. The rest of it doesn't look like they hammered it too bad, so I don't know why they're not out here eating it. I heard that beans, when they're young like that, they just clobber the beans, but I don't see that right now. So maybe they haven't realized they're out here yet, you know, or something. But all right, we got to get back to that farmhouse. We got to finish that up over there. So I just want to apologize for the first part of this video. I really wanted to get that whole thing on video falling, you know, and as always, you know, GoPro let me down. But it's at some point, you know, I was more nervous about getting that chain in there and getting that chain hooked up than worrying about whether or not the camera was playing or not. So some of it's my fault that I didn't see that the camera wasn't on. It's still a GoPro issue that the thing just stops when you got 85% on your battery. But anyhow, I'm gonna get the tractor and I'm gonna try and see if I can scrape these shingles off, or if the whole thing is gonna come falling right down. I'm gonna use the backhoe and see how high I can reach and see if I can just scrape them shingles off of there. And we'll see. I got a feeling it's just gonna want to come sliding right at me and collapse a little more, because it's moved. It's moved since the other day. It was up on top, the concrete, now it's down below, so it has fallen a little more than it was. So I'll go get the tractor and we'll give her a whirl here. All right, let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. You know, it's amazing how easy that fell apart. It looks like I got another mess to clean up. So what we're doing is we're saving all the poles. We're putting them on a pile, and I have a few projects for them, but you know, we might have some to get rid of later on. But and then I'm cleaning all the shingles off these other boards, and I'm saving those boards. So really, so far, I haven't had a whole lot of scrap yet. I mean, I have a big pile of boards over here, but I really haven't had that much scrap yet. So we'll get this cleaned up, and then we'll go on to the next section there and get that next piece. See if I can pull that next piece off onto the grass and get the shingles off of there. All right, last step here is I'm going to try and use my finger on the backhoe there and just kind of grab that piece, and I want to see if I can just slide it off. I think it's just laying on top there, or at least that's the way it looks to me, like it's just laying on top of those other poles. I'm just going to see if I can just slide that off. Well, that looks like that should do it now. Pretty much just cleanup. So it's hard to tell looking at it. But I think that wall with that wallpaper on there, I think if I get that off of there first, I think the rest of that house will come this way, just fall over. But that's what I said about the other piece, so we'll see. But anyhow, that's gonna be it for this week. We're gonna get this all cleaned up before we start that. That other section will be part 3, I guess. I think this is part 2. So we'll get this all cleaned up, get it out of our way. It's been working out real good that way by cleaning up around the foundation and stuff, so I'm not driving in nails and on boards and whatever. If you had like an excavator with a track or something, it wouldn't be an issue. You know, you could drive right over the stuff. But you know, with the rubber tires on a tractor, I'm trying to make sure I'm not damaging my tires and stuff. So it's been working out pretty good, cleaning it up, getting it out of the way, and we'll be ready for that next section to come down next week or whenever we get to it. Pablo is supposed to be coming up this week, so we'll probably have a video with him, and so the rest of the house will probably be, you know, a couple weeks down the road here yet. That's gonna be it. So, you know, give me a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and we will see you next time.